Welcome back to another edition of Talon Talk. This is edition number 25, and we're already right on the cusp of spring break here at UNF. Time is flying by. We'll take a quick look at what happened last week. Some teams are in postseason competition. Today's interview, we will talk to Camryn Cooney and Grace Gumpel of the women's track and field and cross country teams. Looking first at the men's basketball team, men's basketball was pitted against number 3 Lipscomb in the semifinals of the ASUN Men's Basketball Championship. Lipscomb and UNF went back and forth for the entire game before the Bisons hit a game-winning shot with 4.5 seconds left to go in the game. North Florida finished their regular season with a very impressive 21-12 overall record. Women's basketball just finished up their season yesterday in the semifinals, another semifinals appearance for the women's basketball team. UNF defeated Jacksonville at Jacksonville for the second time in as many trips to Jacksonville this season. Jazz Bond had 25 points and put up 8 blocks in that win. The Ospreys fell to number 1 FGCU in the semifinals. Men's and women's tennis, they're rolling along right now. They are combined 18-3 on the season. The men's team split its games this past week, falling to number 24 Duke before defeating Chattanooga 5-2. The women's team downed a very good Navy squad that was on Monday. Beach volleyball went 1-1 against foes, non-exhibition foes, after defeating UNCW 5-0 and falling to number 2-3 Florida State. The Ospreys defeated St. John's River State in an exhibition play following that. North Florida is 2-6 on the season after going to Atlanta to face 2 more ranked foes. They faced 6 ranked opponents this season. North Florida's matches at South Carolina have unfortunately been canceled due to the recent news associated with the coronavirus. UNF baseball is coming off a very strong 9-5 win against Ohio State. Tanner Clark hit a 3-run homer. Eddie Miller had 3 2/3 of work earning the save for that one. Men's soccer competed in a spring match and earned a draw against a good UCF team. Men's golf finished 6th of 15 teams at the General Hackler Championship in Conway, South Carolina. The women's squad finished 1st of 16 teams at the UNF Collegiate. Very impressive there. So after that quick wrap up, let's talk to our guests today. Thank you for being in the studio today, Camryn and Grace.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
So you guys are kind of transitioning right now in your seasons, and you've both performed really well in the fall and in kind of the winter spring session. What does your season look like right now? What does training look like right now? I talked to Coach Pig just the other day. I'm like, what are you guys doing? And he's just like, I'm pushing them real hard, or said something along those lines. And so what does that look like?
Well, we just came off of our indoor track season, and that's basically just building like a good base and just kind of getting races in leading into outdoor season. So right now we're just fine-tuning things we figured out didn't work in indoor, just so we can perform better in outdoor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree pretty much what Camryn said. We're kind of, I guess not like a break, but like we have a couple weeks before we have our first outdoor meet. And so we're just really working hard and definitely hitting faster paces, especially for me being a mid-distance. Mm-hmm. A lot of 400s.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, those 400s, they'll get you. They're a grinder.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. How do you mentally, just talking about running mid-distance, how do you find that sweet spot as a runner to really be able to push yourself, but also, leave enough in the tank for when you need it? Or do you just go full bore? Yeah.
Well, you definitely have to pace yourself, especially, like, for example, tomorrow we have, I have 8 400s, and so we break it up into set of 4s, so, like, 1 set, and then take, like, a longer break in another set. So, like, definitely the first set, I'm going to push myself, but I know I have another set. So, like, I'm like, okay, I don't want to go, like, all out and just totally waste it because I have another set. So, like, you definitely have to pace yourself because that's how a race is, too. You can't just go all the way out on one lap because you have, like, 4.
Mm-hmm. So. For you guys training indoor and outdoor for that season, obviously you're going to be running outdoor here at practice. Is there a different approach, though, for training for an indoor meet versus an outdoor meet?
I wouldn't say there's like a completely different approach. Like for indoor, obviously the track is smaller, so there's more laps, but ultimately it's the same distance. So there really isn't a lot of varying in how we approach it or how we train. It's all pretty similar.
I agree with that too. Like it definitely is pretty similar, but then again, like for me, it's a little different because I'm a steeplechase runner. So like I do hurdles for outdoor, and that's a lot different. Like the workouts are way different because I'm jumping over hurdles. But other than like that, it's pretty much the same because, like Camryn said, it is the same distance, just 400 opposed to a 200.
Steeplechase is a very interesting event. It's just very bizarre.
Oh yeah,
you know,
so
like
hard.
why do we have this water pit?
Oh yeah.
It's like, you know, like what is that? You know, like where did this come from? When you throw in little skills in track, and Cam, you can chime in on this for what experience you've had, but like when you throw in little things that mix up just from running, like how do you prioritize your time and how much time do you devote to doing those hurdles versus running, and like how do you make sure you've got enough time in for those things?
Like, are you asking like
So in like a practice, like how much time are you going to devote to doing the skill-based part of that event?
So
versus like just the effort of running.
Yeah, so probably so we normally have 2 workouts a week. So one of those days we'll do a steeple workout, and then every day that we don't have a workout, we'll do steeple drills at the end of just a normal run. So like today we just had a normal run, and so then I did steeple drills. So we just practice jumping over the hurdles, and we do hip mobility and just like stuff like that.
Yeah, we're always like, even though steeple, like that event isn't like my main thing, I'm just a lot of just like running, just plain 5K, 10K kind of running. We do hurdle mobility and everything just to kind of do those small extra things that kind of gives you an extra edge, even if you aren't necessarily jumping over things or having to hurdle things in like races or different events like high jump, triple jump, and all of that.
What does a runner enjoy that's in track and field and cross country? What do you guys embrace the most in terms of your workouts?
I love when I'm feeling good and like I can push myself, and I'm still like, even though I'm tired, like I can push myself, I guess, faster than like I would if I wasn't like tired. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but
you have those days where you feel good and you don't know why necessarily all the time, and you just are able to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think it's just fun getting to train and just kind of push yourself and like the people around you to like kind of different levels and areas you didn't know you necessarily could go. And it's fun like going to meets and seeing it all click and just being like super happy and just knowing that everything we've been doing like is working and everything.
So track is and cross country is one of those interesting sports where it's also kind of combining a team and an individual, more so in cross country obviously because you have a team score and then you have your personal placing time. For you guys, how do you like, are you aware of your competition? Are you like, because other sports coaches will request this, or I want to they'll scout this team a certain way, or they know specific players do this. With a runner, I mean, are you like, this person runs fast, I want to beat that person, or that type of thing?
Yeah, we definitely we don't usually like meet as a team and like scout out particular teams. Like, I mean, when we go into conference, we definitely are aware of what teams do what and how they've been performing. But just from like meet to meet, everyone in your event, particular people you always race against, how they approach races. Do they go out super fast? Do they wait at the end? Do they have a kick kind of thing? But we don't focus too much on it because at the end of the day, it's how you perform, and like so much can change like from meet to meet with how you're feeling and stuff.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like, I'll know like certain girls, like last meet, I was like close to her, I'm going to try to beat her this time. But like, it really is like at the end of the day, you and the clock. And, I mean, it's not that person that's going to help you win. It's going to be yourself. So,
So running kind of has that that community that extends past college athletics. Obviously, that's very personal, and a lot of people do it, and they keep track of everything that they do, and they run, and they log what they eat and how they eat, and when they've run that day, how they felt. Do you guys see running in that way at all, or do you imagine, kind of being a part of a running community after college even?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell my mom, I want to be that mom with the stroller and run in a mom group.
Yeah, okay.
Because I feel like it's something we've all been doing for like quite a long time, to where it's just been the routine of what we do on a daily basis. So I can really see myself and just probably everyone just continuing, even if it is just for your own like leisure and just enjoyment.
How do you guys keep track of your runs? Do your coaches keep track of like performance at practice and where you guys are finishing and your times, and do they log that stuff at practice? And do you also keep track of it too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have a running log.
Yeah.
And then there's like this chart in our coach's office, and we just like write down like our weekly mileage and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, the coaches will be timing at different like parts of the track, and then Coach King will usually write down splits and ask us where we're at, so they can just have a general idea of like who's feeling good and how the team's looking. But you don't necessarily have to write things down, but I think a lot of people's personal things and just being runners in general, we like keeping track of like little details like that. So if something's not working, you can easily look back and see what you've been doing. So yeah, I think we all probably journal.
What are those details that you've really picked up on about running since you came to UNF versus the running you did as a high school athlete?
I think running more has honestly made me a better runner, because in high school, I just ran like 25 miles a week. And then when I got to college, I bumped up to like 45 to 50. And honestly, just running more really has really helped me. And definitely the workouts too, because it's just so much different. How has your guys' body responded to that mileage increase? Because I feel like some people probably do just have an inherent threshold that they reach and they don't perform well. How do you know what that mileage is that you can still operate well under? So I'm definitely more sore all the time, but I honestly like actually feel better, because I mean, I haven't really noticed that much difference other than I'm just more sore because I'm just running more. But I think honestly it has made me a better runner, just practicing more, faster paces. And I haven't hit my threshold yet, thank goodness. But so, yeah. Good.
No, yeah, that's the same. Like, I came to college and I did a huge bump up from, like, weekly mileage and just the quality and just, like, the endurance, really, like, focus of our workouts. I feel like that's changed a lot of just how I feel. And I feel a lot stronger in college than I did in high school. So it's been, like, exciting to see that transition and just see the whole team, like, kind of learn. Because I know in the beginning, especially our first semester, we were all just trying to figure out, like, what events, where we belonged mileage-wise. But I feel like we're all starting to get a hang of what we need to do in order to get better.
As distance runners, how do you guys get faster? What's the key to getting faster as a distance runner?
Lots of recovery.
Definitely,
and just, like, being very, just recovery.
And also definitely consistency, because you can't just run 50 miles and then next week run 25 miles, and then next week run 30 miles. Like, it has to be consistent, because, I mean...
It's the detail.
Or your body's not going to understand what's going on.
It's going to be like, what?
Yeah. Because do you guys feel that as distance runners, you kind of have, like, a natural pace that you go to if you're not, like, really trying to improve your time, per se? You're just going to say, I'm going to run today. You have a natural pace.
Yeah.
So how do you use that knowledge, and are you aware of, like, okay, I need to go faster here and get away from that, like, natural pace to improve your time? Is it like you have to push past that to get the improvement in time?
It honestly depends on how I'm feeling that day, because say like the day before we had a really hard workout, then the next day I'm gonna feel really sore, so naturally I'm gonna go a little bit slower just to recover my body. But then say like it's an easier workout or I'm not as sore, then I'm gonna push that pace. And just honestly, it's how you feel that day, because honestly, like, running is definitely like how you feel, because if you're extremely sore and tired and fatigued, then you're not gonna want to push that pace, because then you're just gonna get more tired.
Yeah, so it's truly just self-assessment.
For sure. Yeah.
What are your coaches, Coach King, Krupa, Peg, what do they talk about with you guys about that stuff? Or do you learn that on your own?
I think it's a mixture
Mm-hmm.
of, like, I feel like coming in to college, like, already have running in high school and maybe before that, like, you kind of already know how your body responds to certain things, and you kind of just have to be, like, they expect you to just be smart about it, but, like, also we have really good communication with all of them and just, like, how we're feeling. And I feel like just times I've talked with Coach Pig, like, we know what paces, like, I need to be running just regular runs at or, like, workouts at, so I feel like just a lot of communication helps with that, and just having conversations about what we need to do.
How do your coaches keep track of those little differences in time and how much a runner needs, since they're managing so many athletes? They're managing men's and women's teams.
Mm-hmm.
How do they keep track of that, from what you guys can tell?
I think just day after day, seeing us run and how we perform, and just from talking about, like, how we're feeling week after week. They usually will have different groups. Like, for regular runs, we'll all run together, and, like, you kind of can go with whatever group you want. But for workouts, he has set paces for different things, and he'll put you in things that he knows you can either get to, work back to, or just knowing that, like, this is probably good for now. So they kind of decide that. But regular runs, you can have that option. Basically, how Grace was saying, it's how you feel that day.
So you coming off of the indoor championships, and you know what events you're going to run in, and you know the structure of the day, which is another one of the unique parts of being in track and cross country versus, say, a basketball player who doesn't know when I'm going to get the ball, or when his coach is going to sub me in. How do you mentally prepare for those days, and what do you do during those days, because they're really long?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What do you do? Like, obviously there's a lot of downtime. So how do you prepare for that?
So, if I'm running at, like, in the afternoon, I'll probably just, like, try to just chill and not walk around my legs that very much. Make sure I get a lot of calories that day for the morning, because, like, right leading up to the race, I personally can't eat, like, too much, like, 2 hours before, just because my stomach. So, like, if I'm running at, like, 12, I'll have, like, a gigantic breakfast, and then maybe, like, a little bar or something. But then if our race is more, like, towards the end of the day, like 4 or 6, which happens a lot, especially outdoor track, then I'll just do, like, a little shakeout in the morning, just so, like, my legs aren't just, like, shocked from, like, just
it's like,
warming up.
my gosh, like, everybody know that. I'm sure you guys have run, like, very soon after waking up in the morning and being like, I'm so tight.
So and then, like I said, like, I obviously can't have dinner if I'm running at, like, 6, so, like, I'll just have, like, maybe a huge breakfast and then a medium lunch, and then I'm just ready.
Just making sure you're eating and hydrating correctly, and, like, not moving too much, but also moving some, so you don't get that shock.
You're not fatigued, but you're loose.
And even now, I feel like sometimes I still have to work on finding that balance, because, like, it just switches, like...
because, like, some days, like, or, like, a previous meet, like, I'll be like, oh, yeah, that worked so good, I'm gonna do that again. But then the next time, I'm like, my body's, like, shocked. I'm like, what is happening?
How does the diet of a runner vary from the general population?
Definitely, you gotta eat a lot of carbs, like, for sure, because, I mean, that's your energy fuel. But, I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Like, I kind of just eat whatever.
I feel like it varies a lot, too, with, like, what event or, like, what kind of runner you are, too, because, like, even within the running community, everyone has their own preference. Like, some people can eat whatever they want and it works for them, they feel good, and then the other people are very strict and they only eat certain things, or they have set meals that they know works for them, so they just eat it. It's kind of just personal preference, really is, and what makes your body feel the best.
Yeah, because you do see the general acceptance of carbs. That works. But obviously now with the new diets that are coming in and new trends, I mean, you get people that are runners and they run long distance, and might be a ketogenic person, they're going to eat a high-fat diet. But generally, I think most people feel like those diets don't sit well when you run. Like, you're not going to probably be eating a lot of bacon in the morning before a run.
Or even, like, I'll definitely never have, like, yogurt or something.
Okay, some people are dairy.
It's just too much.
Some people don't handle the dairy well. I mean, is it more of a bland diet? Bland diet, high carbs. Is that generally how it's going to be in the morning if you're going to eat a big breakfast?
It's very simple things that digest well.
Yeah.
Nothing that's going to make your digestive system be like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
how are
I'll
we
have,
going to
like,
do this?
a bagel with peanut butter and banana. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, oh man, I had some sausage and eggs this morning.
Yeah.
I can kind of feel it in my throat right
Yeah.
now. So
It's probably not going to feel too good on the first lap or something.
you're really kind of working hard to get through it. Like, that's not processing. Talking about hydration, I know from my experience, when you're hydrating really well, especially in Florida, you're just going to feel fresher.
Oh, for sure.
Is it really difficult to stay on top of your hydration as a runner, as a long distance runner?
Honestly, not really, because like I naturally, honestly, just drink a lot of water, and I have a hydro flask, and I'm not even kidding. Like I'll just like.
So you like
drink
it cold
like,
then? You like your water cold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think just in general, a lot of people nowadays have reusable water bottles, but like I think a majority of us on the team have some big type of water bottle, and we're all just constantly refilling it and drinking out of it. But yeah, cold water is definitely a lot more refreshing after your run or in the Florida heat.
They do say, I mean, after a run for sure, but they do also say that, you know, your body absorbs it quicker, and some people that are, I'm not as diligent about it, you know, you're just trying to get water intake.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just need something to go down quick because I'm not making it a priority right now. But how has it been growing up in Florida, you know, being natives and running in Florida and adjusting to the heat? Because I'm from up north, and it is a huge difference, even in March. Like, Florida's March is my July. Yeah. You know? And so, yeah,
it definitely is challenging, especially for the summer, because summer training is just so brutal, because you have to hit so many miles a week, and it's just so hot. But honestly, you have to be diligent and just wake up early and just get it done.
And that's what Nathan said when I talked to him, and it's really that schedule, that time of day that you're running that makes a difference.
Oh yeah, especially in summer days when it's going to be hot. Like, even when I have earlier classes this semester, I get up before and run, because I'm like, I'm not trying to run in the heat. Like, even if it's a lower mileage day, like, it's going to take so much out of you. So it's just trying to avoid things that are going to drain you as much as possible.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, you know, looking ahead to your schedule and the rest of the spring, and having about a couple more weeks off until competition, that is. And then, you know, you have a couple events, and then you'll have a couple weeks off. So that's, you know, a little bit less in terms of competition dates than some other sports. How do you stay locked in during those times?
I guess it would just be like reminding yourself like why you show up to practice every day, and just like simple things of just knowing each day you're running or each time you push yourself, it's just going to make it that much more exciting when you show up to race. I feel like that's what keeps me.
Yeah, for sure. I agree,
Kind of going off in another area, you guys are both nursing majors, which I just learned.
Yes.
So you guys study a lot together?
We did the first year, but now we're
in different program routes,
Okay.
but we still definitely talk a lot about everything.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, we were having a little conversation, and I was like, seems like she might be a nursing major.
Yeah. But she's definitely a good study partner.
Okay.
Keeps me accountable.
Yeah. So when's the sweet spot for you guys to study? Because, I mean, a lot of times you'll have early practice and whatnot, but some people like studying at night, go to the library late at night, or do whatnot. When do you guys find time to do that? Because nursing requires a lot.
Oh, yeah. I'm not really a night person.
Okay.
So, yeah, because especially during cross-country, when we have practice really early, I like to just go to bed and get my sleep, because that's, like, another thing. Like, runners definitely need their sleep. But probably the afternoon, like, when we're just right after practice.
Yeah,
and,
just periodically throughout the day, just spacing it out so we're not cramming, because that's always stressful. And if it's like 10 p.m. and you have an exam the next day, you do not want to start looking at it.
Yeah, well, and those things work hand in hand. I mean, the benefits of running and performing well in the classroom and just being sharp mentally. I mean, they do. I think there's a link there. That's what I found too. What are your guys' respective goals with nursing? Do you want to be nurses?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure yet, like, specifically where I want to be in nursing, but yeah, the end goal is to get that degree.
Gotcha. Okay. A lot of hours, a lot of work. Yeah. For sure. If I were to ask both of you guys one place that you want to run it could be, you know, a marathon, half marathon, a special race, whatever type of race it is. Where is that in the world that you want to do it?
So I really want to run at the Oregon Track headquarters. It is.
That's, I mean,
it's
the
just
cream
so
of the
cool.
crop there.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's awesome. If I could just do one lap on there.
Yeah.
I know, because it's
I
through
would-
the forest. That's
Yeah,
pretty
like
cool.
there's
Yeah.
like a forest in the middle of the track. It's just beautiful. So
Yeah, I guess I don't think I've ever thought
That's
of
special,
one
yeah.
place, but there's a lot of places that seem super cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's new destinations every day. It seems like for long distance running, because it's a community that's really blowing up right now, and
sure.
you get the crazy ultra marathoners
Yeah.
and all that stuff and whatnot. And I don't know if you guys have any comments about them, but would you want to be them one day?
I give them a lot of
Yeah.
respect. I don't know if that's me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. As that's I don't know what it is, but that's the trend right now. It seems like So guys, have any other comments you want to share about this season or about how you guys are feeling before things really ramp up for you guys at the end of this month?
Well, I'm just honestly excited for outdoor, and I'm excited to see if I can beat my time from last year for steeplechase, because that is definitely a hard race and very mentally challenging. So I'm excited to get back and jump some hurdles.
Yeah, I'm just really excited to see like how everything we've been doing, how it all comes together, and just see our performances as a team.
All right. Thanks again for coming in today, guys. I know it's short notice. I appreciate that. It's Grace Gumpel and Camryn Cooney.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for that. Good luck with your training. You're in between seasons, so to speak, right now, in between indoor and outdoor. And then once you get done with outdoor, it's back to getting ready for cross country. So looking ahead quickly at the rest of this weekend, a lot is up in the air right now with updates around the coronavirus. But on our schedule for right now, women's tennis will still be playing East Tennessee State University. Men's tennis will go to Tampa for matches against South Alabama and USF. As mentioned, beach volleyball will not be playing. Baseball will host Illinois State. Softball, as of now, will be going to Longwood, Florida, and the swimming team is in Cleveland competing at the National Invitational Championships. So thanks again for listening to another edition of Talon Talk. Catch more in episode 26. That is next week.